They put me in such high pedestal that it made me feel like I wasn't sure what I was chasing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we post those standards on ourselves, and then in the process, we become super women. And sometimes people think na, nandiyan na kayo madali magsalita. But to get here, naman.
Akala ko noon na sa dami ng gold star ko, mas magaling na ako than yesterday. Progress, di ba? Yung sinasabi na nakakaalwan ka na, umaasenso ka na, gumagaling ka. Pero in reality, it was approval.
All right, so welcome to our second episode.
Second.
Wow, second na!
Kala mo ang dami.
Ang dami na. Wow, may
Milestone
nakinig.
ito, guys! Milestone!
Milestone. Nakinig
Nakadalawa
yung team
tayo.
natin. Nakinig yung teams natin. Thank you sa teams namin na
Yes.
tumangkilik ng aming first episode. But if you listened to our first episode, then you would have heard us talk about, are we okay? But the first episode
Choosing
was
ourselves.
choosing ourselves,
Yes.
checking in on how are we doing at this stage in our
Correct.
lives, right? But we thought we couldn't keep talking about that stage of our lives without talking about how we got there in the first
Yes.
place. So this is the origin story. Yes. The origin story of how we got here. And we're calling this one the gold star
That we kept chasing,
we kept chasing.
but we just assumed it's coming.
Yes.
Oo.
Yes. Hindi kami sure sa title, but you will
Bahala na
see
yung
it.
title, basta
Yes.
maintindihan nyo na.
Basta
Yun yung
gold
important.
Naintindihan niyo ba yun? Okay,
Basta
good.
gold star, right?
Ano yung
may
tanong mo?
ka ba?
Wala.
Ang tanong mo
May
kanina,
tanong siya.
ano nga ba?
Ano ba talaga ang ibig sabihin ng gold star?
Nung bata ka ba, hindi pa uso yung gold star? So, pag halimbawa
Hindi,
magaling ka
serious
sa
question.
class, pag magaling ka sa class, sabihin ng teacher, Tonichi, read this. Ano binibigay sa'yo? Yung tatak? Ganon?
Wala kaming ganun sa St. Paul College of Pasig.
Yes.
Ano lang siya, top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ganun.
Wala kang
Walang star-star na
Okay,
ganun.
okay.
So,
Wala
hindi
kang
ko
yung
panahon
happy
yung mga
smile.
stamp na
Walang
ganyan.
stamp.
Ikaw,
We have
stamp?
Yeah.
Ako
Stamp.
hindi. Kasi, again, taga San Pedro, Laguna ako, no? So, yung gold star sa amin, literal yung palara. Yung akala mo,
Palara?
naku,
Alam mo
sa Yossi.
palara? Aka ng adyan. Alam mo yung palara?
Alam mo yung palara?
alam ko yun.
Yun. Ginugupit yun ng teacher ko. Tapos uuwi ka talaga. Meron ka nakapin dito na gold star.
how
Ganon.
So that is, and when are you given a gold star? Kapag?
Kapag nakatama ka sa recitation, magandang nakuha mong grade, ganyan.
Yes.
Or nakabasa ka perfectly.
Yes, yes.
May gold star ka,
Same,
ganyan.
oo. Yun ang mga...
Pero sa bahay, may gold star din. Di ba?
Oh, yes.
Sa bahay. Pag
With-
halimbawa,
with-
o pag may
with
ginawa
our
ka,
parents.
na sa
Yes.
chores,
Oo.
or sa
Pag
mga...
nag-brush ka ng teeth.
Yes.
Tapos
Parang
sasabihin ng
basic
daddy ko,
expectation.
expectation.
Yun,
Pag
bata ka?
oo, pag sinabi ng daddy ko, kayong tatlo,
Oo.
nag-brush na ba kayo ng teeth? Yes. Paamoy?
Ay.
Kahit hindi ko pa ginagawa. Very good.
O ba?
Pag ako palaging very good.
So, lagi mabango yung hininga mo.
Okay.
Yun ang ibig mo sabihin kahit hindi ka nagtututbrush. Okay, sige. Gold star ka dyan. Okay, so those are the gold stars. So,
Yes. Or,
yes.
other rewards. Halimbawa, pag natulog ka sa tanghali, may merienda ka. Right? Halimbawa, meron kang snacks
Sige,
or
what's your merienda when you were bata?
turon.
Yeah, turon?
Turon, syempre.
Me, yung matigas
Kanyoka?
na tinapa. Hindi, yung
Putok.
Pande.
putok.
Putok.
Yun, yung putok. Ang sarap nun. Oo. You, what?
Ako,
Putok.
taho.
Spanish bread.
Taho.
Taho.
Yeah, taho.
Taho. Sa umaga lang, yung lang
Ako
ganun sa
din.
merienda,
Ay, oo nga,
di
no,
ba?
umaga
Sa
pala
umaga.
yun. No?
Oo,
Biko,
no?
Biko, gumagawa kasi yung lola ko. ng
Okay,
biko.
tama na yung
Okay,
pagkain.
sige.
So, balik tayo sa gold star. So, let's talk about the real gold stars. no?
Okay.
Yung rewards na I think when we were younger, we kept on chasing.
Yes.
Right?
And in some
Or-
way, na-program tayo dahil dyan, right? Because we kept chasing these. These were the things that made us feel that like we were getting somewhere because
Yeah.
because we would chase them
And because of the gold stars, we were unintentionally wired
Yes.
to become very competitive.
Correct.
Siyempre, wala kang gold star pag di ka nanalo, di ba?
Oo.
So, kailangan
Okay.
competitive ka.
So that's the first thing we'll talk about with our sunshines. Yes, gusto mo yung dati sangre, ngayon
Ano
sunshine.
ba? Kada episode ba
Sunshine,
magpapalit
yes, for
to?
today.
Tinatry ko po. Iba-ibang klaseng fandom names.
Okay ba sa inyo yung
Okay,
sunshine?
sunshines. Okay, let's tell our sunshines. What was your gold star? Ano yung gold star nyo nung kabataan nyo? For example, okay, ako namang una.
Sige.
Kasi ako taga-tanong, ako una. So my sister, yes, my sister and I, yung ate ko po, 4 po kami magkakapatid. Yung ate ko po, she was always known as the studious one, matalino siya, lagi siyang cum laude, ganyan. So growing up, and we were in the same grade. Yeah, I skipped 2 grades, naging magka-grade kami, pero lagi pa rin siyang, because she was always so much more studious. But also, she was always that person. So my parents always would be like, oh, this is Isabel or Alpi. She is, nanalo, cum laude na naman, to merit awardee, ganyan. I was the arts girl. So I was like,
ito si Lara Muse.
oh, ganun din, oo. Kaya parang nanalo sa declamation ko. Yung mga pagpapabida, yun ako. So I did always feel a little bit, although my parents, I want to make it clear, they never, ever, ever compared us. And neither did my sister. But I guess I just did that to myself. And
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. But I just kind of always saw that as, okay, so she's that. So my gold star, and I probably didn't realize it, was giving my parents some reason to be proud of me, even if it wasn't in the academic space. You know, like, hindi yung dahil maganda lang ako, cute siya, but really other things, like debate team, yung mga ganon. So that was my, because I didn't like to study.
Would you say that was the start of you chasing gold stars?
I think so. Unintentionally, that was, And when I grew older, it felt like, I was racking up these achievements. It felt great. And it was never about my sister. It was always about me. Pero yun, may ganun akong internal competition na sinet sa sarili ko. Sa sarili ko.
Correct.
Okay, what about you, madam? Yes. What was your goal?
Kasi I grew up with my grandparents, diba? And with my cousins also. And I always felt like the favorite one. All the time.
Ikaw yung favorite.
Ako yung favorite. So,
Sana all.
I felt na parang they put me up in such a high pedestal. I wasn't even being compared to anybody else. Pero they made me feel like, yan, dapat ang gayahin nyo. So, wala pa nga na-achieve. Gayahin dapat. So, kailangan, mas mahirap yun, di ba? Walang star. May hinahabol kang star. Ganun. So, ganun siya. Na every time, I don't quite feel like it's an achievement, kahit wala.
Yeah.
I go home feeling like I disappointed them.
Yes.
Ganon. Kasi, panganay ako sa mga brothers ko, tapos yung mga cousins ko, puro sila halos lalaki. Ako lang yung babae. So, talaga, si Tonichi, very good yan. Unang naglinis ng kwarto, very good, ganyan. Pero, I had always been the entertainer in the family.
Same.
Diba? Pag sinabing,
Parang may
Tonichi,
sayaw.
may visitor, sumayaw ka. Sayaw talaga tayong ganyan, diba? Pag anong pangarap mo? Manalo sa Little Miss Philippines and eat bolaga. Ganon. Buti na lang,
Nanalo.
hindi ako ipinasok ng mommy ko.
Bakit naman? Mali mo nanalo ka.
Oo nga.
Sus Maria.
Hindi pala ako pang ganon. Pero yes, so there was a certain level of, they put me in such high pedestal that it made me feel like I wasn't sure what I was chasing.
Yeah.
I guess that was even more difficult, right?
Yes.
Kasi ano kaya yung chine-chase ko? Pero they had a standard, but I really didn't understand what the standard was.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
diba?
laughing because I feel like we did it to ourselves. Baliw ba tayo? Parang wala naman nagsabi na, but maybe that's just how some people are wired, right?
hindi pa naman ako yung academic. Hindi ako talaga yung
same.
super
Ano ba?
academic. Umuwi ako,
Academic ka
sabi
ba?
ko,
Ako academic.
Ay,
Okay.
talaga.
Yes. So sa akin, both literal at saka figurative yung gold star. So yes, I was highly academic. No? Nung bata ako, palagi ako. And it comes from a separate place also. Kasi yung mommy ko, while she was studying, habang lumalaki ako, paulit-ulit niya sinasabi sa akin na walang taon na wala akong honor. Graduate siya, valedictorian, etc., etc. Ganyan. So, came me and my brother. Siyempre, yung brother ko, he does a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
Siyempre, pogi siya and
Sabihin mo
all.
muna kung sino yung brother mo. Kasi yung mga listeners
Malalaman
natin
din nila
hindi
yun.
nila alam na ang kapatid niya po ay si... Sabihin
sino?
mo na, ang asawa po, ang butihing...
So,
si
anyway.
Christopher Rojas po.
Oo. So, I grew up na lagi kaming, my brother and I are really, really close, no? So he never made me feel na parang I'm inferior, etc.
Yeah.
Pero he already had his own swim lane.
Yeah.
Kasi 9 years old yung brother ko nung na-discover siya for show business. So, syempre, bata pa siya, meron na siyang, eto ako, di ba? Kahit nasa totoo lang, napilitan lang naman siya. Kasi yung nanay ko yung mahadelang gusto. Pero, yung brother ko talaga, super shy. But in any ways, I think that kinda, I guess, wired me to find my own swim lane.
Right.
Diba? Siya na yun eh. Siya na yung pogi, bibo, celebrity, diba? So ako, saan ako? Ganon. Kaya ako, academics. Kaya I really did my best to be very good in school. I go home with very good grades. I am very competitive, kahit extracurricular. And I felt like, growing up, I also, my lola raised me because my mom was an OFW. So, lola ko nagpalaki sa akin. Nung bata ako, meron kaming piggery. So every Saturday, nagkakatay kami ng baboy. So a lot of people
Alam ko
don't
tong
know this
araw
about
to.
me. Pero pag Sabado, maaga pa, gumigising na ako, I take my bike, iniikot ko yung village namin para manguha ng mga order.
Yes.
Ano po order nyo? Magkakatay po yung lola ko, ganyan. Tapos lilista
Ano
ko
yung
sa-
mga order?
Ay?
Ano yung mga order? Gusto ko malaman.
Liempo.
Liempo.
ganyan.
Liempo,
Pata
kasim,
is like
kasim,
that.
ribs,
Okay.
pata, front or back. May
Okay.
ganun nun. So, syempre, sasabihin ng mga lola ko, okay, kailangan maubos natin na kasi dalawang baboy yung kakatayin. Ganyan. That was early on in my life. The second part, actually, prior to that, may junk shop kami. So, marunong ako magbote, garapa, maglinis, ano yan, kilo ng mga dyaryo, aluminum, etc. So, I really grew up in that lane where I felt my gold star was to be useful. Aside from just being matalino, I had to be the one that's reliable. At the age of 12, I was running that business for my lola on her side. Kaya siguro dun ko rin nakuha yung pagiging, alam mo yan, yung frugal, yung financial management, yung galing sa luto, ganyan. Kasi pagka yung kapitbahay namin sinabi sa akin, ay, gusto ko sana liempo eh, kasi magmiminudo ako. Pwede naman po kasim. Di ba? At the age of 12. Oo, no? Kaya akala ng mga tao, itong tisay na to. Siyempre, mistisa ako, nagbibisikleta akong ganyan. Pero, na-realize ng mga kapitbahay namin na, maraming alam tong batang to. So, feeling ko, the moment na umuwi ako, uy, gold star yun.
Yes.
Sabi ng kapitbahay namin, magaling daw ako eh. Ganyan. Tapos lola ko naman, tuwan-tuwa siya. So, yun yung gold star ko. Both school and, my personal life.
But and I don't know if it's the same for you. When in the working world, it wasn't like I intentionally went after. So I was an agent, and then nakita ko may opening trainer. So naisip ko, okay, this is interesting for me.
Bagay
so
sa'yo.
go, bagay sa akin. Opo, sige. So as a trainer, nag-apply ako, okay, nakuha ko. And then I wasn't like, okay, kailangan training soup next. Kailangan. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
no conscious laddering.
Same.
Like going, diba?
Yeah,
So
same
it
for me.
wasn't-
Wala akong roadmap. Unlike
Yes.
many ambitious people,
Oo.
which I totally
Respect.
admire.
Yes,
right?
agree.
Feeling ko, ako yung tipo ng tao na pag tinanong mo, what's your plan? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Sasagot ko sa'yo, sa EDSA. Kasi wala talaga akong roadmap. Hindi lang ako ganun. No, na parang meron akong in 2 years, dapat ganito na yung level ko. In
Yes.
ganun. But I always knew that I had to be better.
Better, yes.
Parang feeling ko, okay, so
Same.
today, ito lang score ko, bukas dapat mataas. The next day, mas mataas pa doon, etc. In my batch, when we started out as agents, in my batch, ako yung huling na-promote.
Talaga.
Ako kasi, shout out sa dati kong TL na hindi sinabi sa akin na may promotion pala. Syempre, fresh out of college. Ang alam ko lang, kailangan ko ma-regularize kasi hindi ako uuwi ng Calindola, San Pedro, Laguna na hindi man lang ako na-regular.
Regular, yes.
Nakakahiya.
Yes, at
diba?
nagtatrabaho tayo nun sa Eastwood.
Eastwood.
My
Diba?
gosh, ang layo.
Uy,
May
grabe.
something fishy.
Just, imagine, sa isang building tayo.
Oo.
All
Diba?
those years,
Diba?
teka
Nag-back
muna,
ako.
wait, I think it's an opportune time for me to tell people na Kilala ko po si Claire nung 20 years ago. Agent.
Agent.
I
Oo.
was her trainer.
Yeah, siya nag-train sa
Ako
akin.
nag-train sa kanya. Tapos, after I left ETEL, I moved to Teletech at doon ko naman nakilala si Madam
Yes.
Tunichi. I've known them both and they also know me both from 20 plus years ago. But
So, yun. So, wala akong
Wala
roadmap.
kang roadmap,
Wala
oo.
akong roadmap. Pero I knew that, I had to keep working to be better.
Yes, ito si may roadmap.
Ako may
eh.
roadmap.
Oh, may roadmap.
As a child, I was easily influenced. So like, my best friend yung sinasabi ko, minsan kasi sabay kami mag-aral. Siya kasi likhang matalino. So mag-aaral siya 1 hour, tapos na siya. Tapos ako, 2 oras, aral ako ng aral. Pag nag-test, mas mataas pa rin yung score niya.
Yeah.
So, siya yung point of comparison. Even in college, I had a best friend na pag sasabihin niya, Tonich, kailangan, di tayo mag-a-absent. Di ako mag-a-absent dahil sinabi niya. So, ganun ako. So, nung pagpasok ko ng Citibank, ang unang araw ko, meron ina-awardan.
Aba?
Yung mga top collections ako eh.
Ah.
Top collector, first, number, second, third, ganyan. Sabi ko, ay shucks, gusto ko
Gusto mo yun?
ganun.
Oo.
Tapos meron, may ganon. Sabi ko, ay shucks, kailangan maging ganon din ako. Tapos, okay, for today, we have a promotion from agent to team leader. Very first, ganyan. First woman. Sabi ko, ay, yan ang gusto ko. Tapos, youngest daw siya. Sabi ko, ako ang susunod na youngest. May ganon ako.
I
So,
wonder-
after 1 year,
Yeah.
promoted. After 2 years, another promotion. So, dun ko na-experience na kailangan pala talaga meron. After TL, AM, after AM, M.
It's interesting kasi and I keep going back to, nobody told us, nobody really, and you don't think about it as you're going through your life, right? Like, no, you don't think about, bakit ba ako naging ganito ka-competitive? Bakit
Yeah,
ba ako
yeah,
naging, and many people are likely in this same position of, why am I chasing these gold stars? Nobody told me to do it. Am I, still getting what I want from achieving these gold stars? So, nandun tayo ngayon.
Or yung, pag nakuha mo na yung star, ano na?
Ano
Oo,
na?
oo.
Ano na ngayon, diba? So, napuno ko na yung ganito ko ng madaming gold star. Na-happy ka?
Oo.
Diba? Ikinaganda mo.
Or biglang bumagsak ka.
Oo.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Ako kasi, very good, promote. Pagkatapos napunta ako nag-BPO na ako, napunta ako sa isang account na hindi ako gusto ng kliyente, pinalipat ako. So yun, gusto ko talagang magpakamatay nun. First time mo ma-experience ng lipat nga, ayoko siya dito sa account na to. So I felt like, oh my God, failure.
Yeah.
Wala kang mukhang iharap.
Yeah.
After 2 months, naka-move on lahat. Doon ko lang na-realize that. And at an early stage na, there's life after that pala. Okay, next. Diba?
Yeah, same thing, di ba? Nobody asked you to be that.
Yeah.
Or to achieve those gold stars. Pero, yung thought na hindi mo siya maibaba,
Yeah.
you can't walk away from it.
Yeah.
So, while nobody asked you to do it, you just kept on chasing it and chasing it. Tapos doon ko na-realize, akala ko noon, I was reflecting on, what it really meant for me. Akala ko noon, na sa dami ng gold star ko, mas magaling na ako than yesterday. Progress, di ba? Yung sinasabi na nakakaalwan ka na, umaasenso ka na, gumagaling ka. Pero in reality, it was approval.
Yes.
It was approval that I was
Whose
seeking
approval?
for. I don't know, maybe people around me,
Right.
maybe my family, maybe society, I don't know. No,
Yeah.
Kasi nga nobody asked you to do it naman eh.
Yes.
Wala naman nagsabi sa'yo na, hoy,
Pag
dapat
hindi
ganito ka. Pag di mo yan nagawa, hindi na kita mamahalin.
Yeah.
Diba?
Ako rin, I had that thought of, why am I competing? Like, my sister doesn't care. Like, she's like,
yeah.
alam mo, parang, pero nung nakapasa ako ng Ateneo, tapos siya hindi, naisip ko talaga, mas ako, may ganun ako.
Ganun ka?
Okay. Pero, of course, love you, ate. But no, my point is, why were we like that?
Yeah.
Are we baliw? No, I'm kidding. But what, diba, people, sometimes we post those standards on ourselves. And then, in the process, we become super women. And then in the process,
But are
mababurnout
you
tayo.
now regretting the fact that you chased those gold stars? Not knowing what you know now and
Yeah.
where you are in this whole journey.
Ako no.
Ako rin, no.
Ako hindi. Kasi I think siguro when I also failed, I failed early. Kaya,
Fail fast,
fail,
fail.
oo, di ba?
Yes.
So, I failed early. So, naging ano siya. I had the muscles for it. Diba? So, I had a muscle memory for it. So, na-realize ko na, okay, you fail now, and then you try again. And then, very good ka ulit, star ka ulit. I also realized that having to tell that to my team na hindi pwede palagi superstar ka. Kailangan
Yeah.
maintindihan mo na meron moment na hindi.
Na falling star ka.
Falling star ka, correct?
Correct.
Or twinkle, twinkle
Gusto ko
star
yan.
ka, di ba?
Oo. Hindi, pag twinkle ka, edi achieve ka. In-argue yung point. Okay, wait. So, ngayon ba, are we still going after those goals? Let's tell our sunshines. Oh, star pala. Dapat starlights.
Star, oo.
Yeah. Are we still chasing gold stars? And if so, are they just different gold stars? Or what is the, maybe not so, for me, I feel like, maybe not so much for myself anymore. Whatever I'm chasing is not so much from that. So you can see, nag-iisip po kami as we're good. This is the conversation.
Feeling ko,
This is real.
hanggang tumanda ako, I will keep on chasing goals.
Really? But
I will just be very selective about the stars that I go after. Kasi parang dati, it all meant something to me eh. Even if it's from a total stranger,
Yeah,
na-impress ko siya. Good job.
job.
Diba? Or, a malayong kamag-anak that my lola will brag about na, yung apo ko, ganyan. Na-impress ko siya. So, you keep on chasing these gold stars. But now, where I am in this age, parang feeling ko, yung iba dun, it wasn't even worth it. I
Right.
lost sleep over those things
Yes.
na doesn't even mean something to me today.
Yeah.
So, feeling ko, I will keep on, feeling ko, I will keep on chasing them, but I will be selective about
The
the gold
stars.
stars that I choose.
ikaw, madam, mag-chase ka ba ng star? Ngayong
Wala ka
star
naman
ka na.
naatang.
Yes.
Oo, isa ka lang star.
Isa ka lang star, yes.
Cute nyo. Okay.
Yung totoo.
Oo, yung totoo.
Palagay ko, there will always be
Bakit ka bakit ka magre-retire? Dala pala.
Ibang star kasi yung gusto ko. Chase. So, for example, right?
What is the star
Ang
that
gusto
you
ko
were
ngayon
chasing?
maging baker.
Wow! Uy,
Gusto ko
bago to.
mag-bake.
First time ko narinig,
Ngayon ko
promise.
lang narinig
Totoo
to.
yan.
Ngayon ko lang narinig na gusto ko maging
Hindi,
baker.
sa bahay.
Isa
Hindi
lang
naman
ka-
seryosong baker, no?
Okay.
So, kunyari yun.
Madam, isa lang kaya mo i-bake, gusto mo maging bake.
Excuse
Kasha.
me,
Uy,
that's not true.
kasha
Okay,
na.
sige na.
Ano?
Wala pa
Ano?
akong karapatan magsalita sa
Hindi.
ganito.
Ay,
Hindi.
oo, wag ka na.
So, kasha at saka
Chocolate chip cookies. Oh, chocolate
Ay, hindi ko pa kasi titikman.
Ayaw nga.
Okay,
pala.
sige, balik tayo sa
Okay.
gold star.
Oo,
Maging
star mo,
baker.
Maging
I
baker.
think you're right. We will continue to chase stars because it's inherent in us to be good at something, to try to be good at something, regardless if whoever it is for.
Right.
And usually at this stage, it's for us.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Like for me, wala naman nagsabi sa akin na kailangan magaling ako mag-bake.
Oo.
Pero gusto ko.
Yeah.
Gusto ko, nakokontrol ko yung ingredients.
Wow.
May ganon.
Wala akong alam.
Diba? Yeah.
So,
So,
ikaw,
yung
meron
stars-
kang regret na gold star na chinase mo?
Wala akong
Pinagsisihan
Wala
na?
akong Teka, sa mga
Nag-isip
chinase...
ka bigla for a moment.
Binubuo ko to. Hindi chinase na...
I don't think I have any regrets. I honestly think that everything that I chased, whether it was intentional or not, has contributed to who I am now. That experience, I took something from it. So I don't
That's
think
good.
I don't think I regret anything.
That's good.
You?
Yun, yung mga superficial. Yung feeling ko, I spent so much time, so much energy. I lost sleep over it. I beat myself over and over again para lang magawa ko siya perfectly so that, I can achieve those gold stars. And now, looking back, parang, hindi naman siya worth it. Hindi naman siya, hindi ko siya ikinaganda, hindi ko siya ikinayaman, hindi ko siya ikinahealthy.
Yes.
So, nagpa-impress lang ako to people na didn't even matter. Yun. So, feeling ko those things, and that's why I say I'll be more selective about the gold stars that I chase from now on. But I don't think I'll stop.
So I think yun yung 3 important questions na dapat sagutin bago ka mag-chase ng star.
Yes.
Ikinaganda mo ba?
Ikinayaman
mo ba? At ikina-healthy mo ba? So tanungin nyo
Magandang
muna
mga
yun sa
tanong
sarili
yan.
nyo
Oo.
bago kayo
Okay.
mag-chase ng mga star.
Yes. Please ask yourself those 3 questions, sunshine.
Yes.
Yes.
Talagang
Pinipilit
paninindigan mo
ko.
yung sunshine yan. Okay.
Okay. Ba't ka tingin sa akin? Ano ba? Ano nang next? Yes.
Ano yung question mo sa akin?
No, I was
kanina?
gonna ask you if your younger self, yes, takot ako sa younger self ko. If you saw your younger
Kwento ko
self,
yung younger self mo.
yung younger self ko po na platinum blonde at one point in her life. If your younger self could see you today, what would she say? Ba't ako natatawa? No, what do you think she would give you a gold like would she applaud you? Do you think she would give you a gold star for you've done all of these, or how do you think she'll
I think she
respond?
would.
Yeah.
I think she would. Well, not for all of it, no? Pero I have been through my share of,
Yes.
in spite of and despite of,
Yes.
achieving and taking those gold stars for myself
Yeah.
in spite of this, despite of this. Kulang man to, wala man ako nun.
Oo.
Or I lost this along the way. True, there were some very tough trade-offs
Yes.
and sacrifices
Yeah.
that I needed to do. But I still got them. I
Yeah.
still achieved them, diba? And for those choices that I made, which I made consciously to kind of go after them, hindi ko naman 80% of the stars that I chased were well worth it. And she would probably say, okay, sige, I'll do the same, ganyan.
Good job.
Well, not for 100.
Yung mestisang nagbabike.
Oo, yung mistisang may dalang
May casting.
pata.
Okay.
Oo, sa susunod, ikikwento ko kung bakit yung brother ko, hindi ko pinapaganon.
Okay,
Bukod
sige.
sa-
Mas marami siyang nabibenta.
Hindi.
Ano?
Hindi niya alam yung pata. 4 lang sa baboy.
Ay, hindi ako natawa.
Sinabi niya sa kapitbahay namin, sabi
Alam ko
ko,
na to.
isang baboy lang yung kakatayin. Ang pina-order niya, 6 na pata. Actually, 5. Sabi ng lola ko, saan ka nakakita ng baboy na 5 yung pata? Kasi hindi niya alam yan.
Nakakatuwa siya. Okay.
Kaya nag-artista na lang siya.
Nag-artista
Oh, pero ngayon chef na siya.
Oh,
The irony of it all.
Ikaw?
Ako, would my younger self applaud? Yes. But I want to make it clear to people, we make it sound like, the road was not easy.
Yeah.
It was such a difficult road.
Sa susunod, pag-usapan natin yung road na yan.
Yeah, so because nothing was given to us, to any of us. And now, sometimes people think na, nandiyan na kayo madali magsalita.
Oo.
But to get here, naman,
Alam mo, gusto ko tayo i-pause dyan.
Sige.
I just want to make it clear po na we didn't get here because things were handed to us.
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
Marami rin kaming pinagdaanan at sinakripisyo.
Opo.
And at some episode, we'll talk about those things.
Yeah.
Hindi po ganito yung itsura namin dati.
Opo.
Oo. Hindi rin po kami ganito manamit dati. Hindi namin afford.
Wala
diba?
po kami.
Oo. Basta yung slacks ko, naalala ko nung agent ako, isa lang yun. Pang mga
Ano
5
ba?
weeks ko nang suot. Okay, sorry. Okay, go
Pero
ahead.
yes, nothing was easy. So I think my younger self would be very proud of me. So bibigyan niya ako ng gold star for sure.
Sa noo.
Ganon. Glitter. Okay, ikaw.
Ako din. I think
Your younger self.
my younger self would be very proud. Tawang-tawa na naman kayo.
Kasi yung younger self
My-
mo.
Siguro mga
Sige.
matagal na
Okay.
siya.
Oo.
Yun ba yung ibig niyo sabihin?
Hindi yon.
No, I
Gusto
think,
na ba yung Barbie na pala?
oo naman. At saka
Robin.
Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage patch.
My younger self would be really proud of me, especially given that I've made so many mistakes in my life. Mistakes that would have been very difficult for me to get up again and
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a child, it wasn't a bad childhood, but it wasn't a very happy childhood. My parents were not there all the time. I grew up with my grandparents who loved me, but I obviously looked for my parents,
Yeah.
right? And I remember always praying at night saying na, God, sana kung magiging happy ako pag tumanda ko, sana bilisan natin. Sana dumating na ako sa part na yun.
Na matanda ka na.
Oo, kaya ayan, dumating ka agad, tumanda na agad ako. Sabi ko kasi, please, pwede bang bilisan natin yung part na magiging happy na ako? Kaya ngayon, when I pray, I remember that scene every day kasi it's the same window I go to and pray. Kaya, ngayon iniisip ko, ay, salamat naman. At dinala na ako ni God dun sa happy place ko finally. Kasi the road wasn't easy. So many mistakes.
Yeah.
When I look back, parang even I can't believe that I got here.
Yeah.
And so I think magiging super proud talaga siya sa akin.
But if it's any consolation, kasama talaga yung kagagahan sa buhay.
Tama naman.
Totoo naman yan.
Kaya, applause ka doon.
Medyo nag-ano lang ako. Medyo nagtagal
Dumitur
ako
ka
dun
ng konti.
sa part na gagagaga ka ganyan.
Dinamihan mo lang yung episodes mo.
Tapos hindi ka natuto isa
Oh,
pa.
isa pa.
Next. Kaya ngayon, ang motto ko, try and try until sumakses.
Sumakses ka. Okay.
Eh di sumakses, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay, so let's cap it off by...
Na agad?
Cap it off.
Cap it off.
Yes, by telling our sunshines, our listeners, what's our maybe our piece of advice to them on chasing the gold star? What piece of advice would we tell them about that chase, I guess, is the right question to ask. Kasi, like me, if I think about all the things that I chased, like I said, I did not regret.
Yeah.
And I do not regret any of those, whether or not intentionally ko chinace. But I think throughout that chase, it would have been great if I, probably slowed down a bit. I think it's more the how I chased it rather than what I chased. Like the what kasi, lalo na pag bata ka, hindi mo alam, 'di ba na ano ba 'to, walang kwenta 'to. Kagaya na sinasabi mo, 'di ba?
Common yun nung panahon natin.
Oo.
Pero feeling ko, the
Now,
generation today,
is
they
so-
know what they want.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
guys are like
Yeah.
so
They
Woke?
Exactly.
yes.
Alam
Daming
na nila what they want, what they want to go after. Ayaw,
Oh,
yung
yes.
non-negotiables nila.
It's like
Tayo
our
nun-
kids. Look
Tayo
at
nun walang non-negotiable. Plak lang. Pera lang ang
Yes,
katapat may
oo.
sahod. Okay.
Okay, go.
Basta
Very
hindi
good.
illegal,
Good job.
hindi criminal. Okay,
Yes,
push.
oo.
Right? Pero ngayon, hindi na sila ganon.
Yes.
I can see it in my children. They're very,
I agree. Yeah.
they're very decided.
Yes.
Meron na kagad silang path. No?
So maybe that's the advice is just how you chase. You know what you want to go after,
Yeah.
but maybe think of yourself more as you go on that chase, or maybe don't. And this is why I think our conversations are interesting because we're going through all of this ourselves. Like
Yeah.
we're not sure about. We're being reflective. We're not experts clearly, but we're trying to give people advice based on real life.
Yeah.
And so I feel like. You're right. You make a great point. The generation is different.
My advice is this. Just chase everything. Bata ka pa eh. Right? Kasi bata pa sila. Just chase everything.
Yeah.
By statistics, di ba? By statistics, mas madami dyan yung tama. I'm sure, right? I mean, you won't be as intelligent
Yeah.
right now as you
Yes.
will be 10, 20, 30 years later. So
Yes.
you can't do the discernment.
yun nga eh.
Diba?
Hindi mo alam.
So ngayon, any
But-
opportunity, anything that is in front of you and you think it's a worthy goal, just go for it. Chase that star.
Yeah.
And, by rule of elimination later on, marirealize mo naman, okay lang pala yun. Yun, meant a lot to me. Yun, hindi masyado. Pero siguro naman 80-90% dun sa mga hinabol mo eh. Diba?
Yeah.
It'll mean something and it will come out
Yeah.
to something. And to your point, I think the chase, you learn a lot from that.
From
eh.
that, yes.
Whether the end goal is what you expected or thought it to be
Yeah.
or not, the journey of getting there and chasing that star will build character
And learning.
and learning.
Yeah.
Diba? Kahit na may medyo detour, kagaya nga ng mga kagagahan mo.
Yes.
Diba?
Oo,
Nating
tagal ka.
lahat.
Tagal ka
Kasi
sa
may-
Tagal ako
Detour na yun.
hover ako doon.
Yes. Tagal. Ano ba? Mga tao parang, ano ba, Tunichi, you're still there. Where
Yeah,
are you?
hovering pa rin. Ako, I think my advice would be as soon as you can,
Don't hover.
don't hover. No, as soon as you can, do it for you. Because when you're younger,
I love
you
that.
try to do it for other
For
people.
other people.
Yes.
But
Correct.
one day you will snap out of it. Just like we did, right?
Yeah.
That's why because you won't get there until you go through the process, but as soon as you can, do it for you.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice to end on,
Yeah.
actually. So, yes.
So, sa
on
susunod.
that note, yes. Sa susunod na kabanata,
Iba naman ang pag-uusapan natin. Yung mga kagagahan.
mga kagagawa naman ang i-discuss natin.
Sige, ako
Sunshines.
magtatanong lang.
Yes. Okay, but thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
spending time with us again today, Sunshines. And
Hit like,
Please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and we will see you again soon.